welcome back. So today is going to be a very simple recipe. I'm going to show you guys how I make cinnamon swirls. So we really like these for breakfast on the weekends. They're quick, they're easy, they're delicious. We do like cinnamon buns, but we prefer these instead. They're more like a biscuit. So I'm going to show you guys how I make them, and yeah, let's get baking. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is get all the dry ingredients ready. So in my mixer bowl, I'm gonna put 1.5 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna put that on my mixer and let it mix up for a few minutes. While the dry ingredients are mixing, I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of cold butter. I've chopped it up into little pieces to make it easier to mix in, and I'm going to let it mix just until it is crumbly. Next, I'm going to remove the bowl off my stand mixer, and I'm going to make a little well in the center of my flour, and I'm going to add 3/4 cups of sour cream. If you don't have sour cream, you can also use plain Greek yogurt or vanilla Greek yogurt. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to put it back on the mixer and let it mix. It is going to be very sticky. That is okay, because we're going to put it on a floured surface and we're going to knead it with some more flour, and it'll come together in a nice smooth dough. Now, because this dough is really sticky, you want to make sure that you flour your work surface really well, because it will stick to your counter. So put the dough on your floured surface, and then you're just going to knead it a little bit, adding a little bit more flour into it until it forms a soft ball. Well, soft ball of dough. Then you're going to take a rolling pin or something, and you're going to start rolling it out into kind of a rectangle shape. So make sure when you're doing this that you flip the dough over, roll it out, flip it over, roll it out. And the entire time you're doing this, keep flouring your surface because it's gonna stick. Also, don't roll out your dough too thin. You want it to be about 1/4 inch thick. Otherwise, if it's too thin, it starts to break apart and it won't roll nicely. Next, you're gonna melt 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter, and you're gonna mix 1 teaspoon of vanilla into it. You don't have to, you can if you want, but I mix 1 teaspoon of vanilla into it, and then I use a pastry brush, and I am going to brush this butter all over my dough. While I'm doing that, I'm also preheating my oven to 375 Fahrenheit. Alright, after you butter your dough, you're going to take some brown sugar and you're going to sprinkle it on top. You can use as much or as little as you want. I don't measure when I do this, I just sprinkle it on and then spread it all out. I think it works out to be about 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Then I take cinnamon. Again, I do not measure this, I just put a very heavy coating of cinnamon on top of the brown sugar. Now you're going to roll your dough into a log shape. At this point, this is where you really hope that you put enough flour on your work surface so that the dough doesn't stick to your counter. So once I have it rolled, I just reshape it a little bit to make sure it's as even as I can make it. All right, we're almost done. So now you're gonna cut your dough into little rounds. Cut it however you want, just make them as even as you can. Now that your cinnamon swirls are all cut up, you're going to take a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, put the cinnamon swirls on it, space them all out evenly. Then you're going to take a little bowl, put an egg in it with a teaspoon of water, mix it up with a fork, and you're going to brush your egg wash over top of each of your cinnamon swirls. And then we're ready to put it in the oven. So these only bake for about 15 minutes. I just keep an eye on them because sometimes it's a little quicker, sometimes it's a little bit longer, but as soon as they're all golden brown on top, then you know they're done. So you take them out, and this is what they should look like. While the cinnamon swirls are cooling, we're going to make the icing that we're going to drizzle over top. So in a small bowl, I'm adding half a cup of icing sugar, 1 tablespoon of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, although I only start with 1 at a time, and just a hint of cinnamon. Mix it up with a spoon and add a little bit more icing sugar if it's too thin, add a little bit more cream if it's too thick. Just for aesthetics today, I put the icing in a piping bag so that I could make each drizzle over top of the cinnamon swirls look perfect. Again, it's only for aesthetics because I wanted them for pictures. So normally I would just take a whisk or a spoon and drizzle globs of icing over top of each cinnamon swirl. All right, guys, I told you it's nice and easy, and they turn out really good. They're like a biscuit, but a little bit softer. I don't know how to explain that. Anyway, these are amazing. Anytime I've made them and served them to any of our company, they have loved them. So this is a very easy recipe, and you should definitely give it a try. If you like biscuits, if you like cinnamon rolls, this is a great combination. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and remember to go check out the links in the description of this video and check out my cookbook notebook and, hit all the buttons, do all that wonderful stuff, and thank you for supporting me and helping me grow my channel. So I will see you for my next recipe.